Filipinos, including the majority who are non-Danists.
Hop. Pagkain ni Cedie.
That was discussed by Justice Ascuna. Uh, in a
Rice
Republican
na.
democracy,
Rice.
there is what we call the primacy of the sovereign will. And the sovereign will, therefore,
Teka.
extends
Hawakan.
to our right to choose. And they're saying, while that is the general rule, which means why will an anti-dynasty measure pass and prevent us from exercising our sovereign will to choose? Let the voters, let the voters decide whether they want a dynasty or not. So that's the argument.
No.
But sabi nga ni Justice Ascuna, there are exceptions.
Pamula.
And therefore, the sovereign will can, but must be supreme, may take on exceptions. And therefore, such exception would be an anti-dynasty measure. So it is an exception to the primacy of the sovereign will of the people. Number one. Me, on the practical side, naisip ko rin yun. Kasi ako, nagturo ako sa Ateneo. I was a member of the faculty in Ateneo, Katipunan for 7 years. Anong kinalaman nun sa anti-dynasty? Ang nanay ko, teacher din. Nagturo sa public school sa UP. Ang kapatid ko, nagturo sa UP Diliman. Ang architecture. Sa pang kapatid, nagturo sa LaSalle ng business management. So, meron kaming education dynasty.
No.
Pero of course, so how do you now reconcile na it could be genetic, the genetic predisposition to be doctors, di ba? To be educators, etc. You don't have an answer actually. That's why siguro an absolute, at least the minimum, absolute prohibition is something that may not be, how do you call it, acceptable to some, but perhaps we regulate rather than an outright prohibition of the political dynasty. To be a regulation rather than a outright prohibition. But that is of course debatable. Yun lang, palang isipan.
Diba?
Hello, Sir. Thank you, Madam Chair. I would also like to add some thoughts about it because it's true. We are regulating the sovereign will, the expression of the sovereign will through the election. But also my view is the sovereign will is also expressed through the Constitution. And we know that the 1987 Constitution, its heart is social justice. And I think Attorney Kay mentioned this also that it is a social justice issue, an equalization effort. So if you recall, in my students here, di ba, we always talk about, in our reality, not all are created equal, right? Labor, management, that's why our laws try to equalize them so that labor has a equal footing with management, right? So we have the violence against women. We don't have a violence against men law because we recognize the historical violence that's been exerted to women, right? So this is the same logic we're applying here. That we have already recognized the evil of dynasties, and what we're trying to do is the state is trying to lower it down, right? To regulate it so that everybody has an equal chance to participate in the political process. And I was also thinking about the education dynasty, Senator. Parang I was thinking, can that be applicable to public office? So to my mind, I was saying, I think there is really a substantial distinction because when you are in public offices, through winning and through an election, you are given a portion of
Bawanas,
the
bawanas.
sovereign power, right? You are invested with tremendous amounts of power that a private profession does not have. So I think that's why the state should have an interest in regulating who can access public office. Thank you.
Oh.
Thank you. Alright, next please.
Thank you so much.
Okay, senators, delegates, representatives, magandang umaga, may buntag kayo sa tanan, benvenidos, and once again, welcome to Cagayan de Oro City DA sa tanan. So, I would like to represent, I would like to introduce myself. I am Owen Paralco from Butuan City. Nag-aaral po ako dito sa Xavier University po. So, may dalawang tanong po ako na bakit po mayroong mga officials talaga nag-hard sell or they really campaign themselves so much sa kanilang mga kampanya as mga quote-and-quote public servants, not politicians. So, parang nagtataka tayo. So, anong masasabi niyo tungkol sa statement po?
Clarify lang kung bakit nangangampanya sila bilang public servants and not politicians.
Yes,
Ano
po.
yung pangutangan? Would any of the would anyone like to address that question? Yes, Senator Kiko.
Hindi naman pinagbabawal yun naman. Pero siguro, iniisip nila, dahil na sa mga pangyayari sa politika, napakasamaan na ng connotation na ng politician. So, nire-rebrand nila yung sarili nila. Hindi ako politician, ako ay public servant. So, having said that, sabi ko nga, pagka ikaw ay nililigawan, hindi ba, magaganda ang bitiw na salita, dapat kinabisin mo ng gusto. Kung yung bang nanliligaw ay totoo o magaganda lang ang salita. Hindi ba? Bago mo sabihin, oo.
Wala.
Politiko, every
Wala.
election, nililigawan ang botante. Hindi
Sino
ba?
ba?
Pero hindi tayo basta-basta
Baba.
dapat naniniwala dito sa mga magagandang
Sino ba?
salita. Dapat tingnan natin, may resibo ba?
Ang dami
May
pa
track record ba? Mapagkakatiwalaan ba? Magnanakaw ba? Sinungaling ba? Diba? So yung public servant, baka sinasabing nagpapabango lang. Baka nga dapat yung mga ganun, mas lalo patunay na hindi pwede magkatiwalaan. Diba?
Alright, so
Salamat.
my final question po ako. So,
Okay, final ha, kasi may mga nag-iitay pang iba.
more of into the business sector. So, can a company under a big politician's name that easily accesses or enters a market or segment or business sector considered an act of dynasty?
Interesting. May naisip ako dyan. But maybe Engineer Brito, gusto i-address muna yung tanong.
Tubig! Tubig!
Compared to an ordinary businessman, talagang hindi level ang playing field. Una, pag-access ng financial resources. So, kaya nga, hindi natin ma-discount na talagang those who have political power,
Tama na.
goes with it some economic benefits. Ano naman
Dede.
yun, no? That's really what is happening. So,
No.
pero ang pagkakaalam natin sa atong balaod, once you are holding political power, you are not allowed to do business. Kasi
Tubig yan
may
eh.
conflict of interest yan.
Tubig yan.
No? So, yun ho, sana ang ideal na setup.
Dali ka. Tubig. Baliktad.
Did I answer?
Yes po. Maraming salamat po. Thank you po.
Salamat po. I think a similar po nga na mag-uusapan dito, parang mga contractors.
Oo.
Nobody else. And a similar
Bad.
issue came up sa
Diba?
dalawa na unang consultations, Marilao, Bulacan, and isa pa, na paano kung yung dynasty, magpatakbo sila, hindi ng kapamilya nila, pero kasosyo sa negosyo. So another case na hindi pa kino-cover ng bills sa ngayon. Okay.
What?
Next, please.
Good morning, Senator. Senator Party. Dr. Wilson Ahmed. Convener, People's National Reform Initiative.